So there's been some news in the world of monster racing. Medabots, YoKai Watch, Monster Rancher, Temtem, and Pokemon. Let's check it out. So let's start off with Monster Rancher. For those who don't know my opinions on the series, I think it's unironically the best monster racing series. I think it's a series that encapsulates everything I think monster racing should be. So it's pretty fair for me to say that I've been pretty disappointed since it kind of just disappeared with a mobile game and an MMO that never even hit stateside. But as of recently, as of I think February, we're gonna say February on this because that's what the numbers on the Twitter say. Koei Tecmo made a new Twitter page for the series, in Japanese, but it's still there. And so far, it's just been a bunch of really cute stuff, with Holly and Mochi, just kind of art and dialogue of Holly talking to herself, I guess. Not really any specific audience. But recently, we've been talking about the anniversary of Monster Farm, Monster Rancher, Monster Farm, same thing, coming up. And maybe we'll get some kind of re-release of Monster Rancher 2, the most popular game of the series. Maybe we'll get a whole new Monster Rancher. I don't really know how this is gonna work out because the way that the game's gimmick has always gone is you put in a CD, or in, I guess, the case of the portable games, a word, and it poops out a monster. And it's a really cool gimmick because you look around your house like, oh man, I need to see what I can unlock. I need to see what kind of cool things I have hidden in my dad's power of CD, including Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. Maybe Bruce Springsteen could give me a Moo or a Phoenix, who knows? But yeah, no, this would be amazing. This will really just punctuate the fact that monster raising games are having this giant renaissance, and one of the 3 big monster raising franchises from that time period, the big boom, coming back, would really just, So YoKai Watch, that series with the cute cat, right? It had its 4th release recently, just a few days ago in Japan. Just a few days ago, apparently, meaning like 2 weeks ago. And it looks pretty good. Made by Level 5, which is the same company that made Ni no Kuni. And it looks to be using that same Ni no Kuni system where you have a bunch of monsters on the screen, they beat things up, you're in the backline playing as a human, you do things, I guess. And it's getting pretty good reviews. It got a 37 out of 40 from Famitsu. I mean, Famitsu's not exactly the same kind of reviewer they used to be. Did I have headphones on when I was last doing things? I don't know if I had headphones on when I was last doing things. Continuity error fixed. But yeah, Famitsu kind of ruined their reputation a while ago when they gave Nintendogs of all games a perfect score, which is a little bit of a stretch because it's Nintendogs, a true greatest game of all time. But what they are saying about YoKai Watch is that it looks great, the battles feel good, and you can feel a connection between yourself and the yokai, which is always something that you want to strive for when making a monster racing game. I mean, personally, I want the game to do well for a couple of reasons, right? First, it's a monster racing game. And the more monster racing games that do well, the more monster racing games we'll get. That's just how video game industry work. But the other thing is, I like YoKai Watch. I know it's not the most popular thing, especially here in the States. It kind of just crashed. YoKai Watch 3 is really rare because they didn't make many copies of it because they didn't expect to sell many. Heck, even in Japan, where it originally was doing monstrously well to a point of rivaling Pokemon in the, like 2014 or something like that, it kind of just died out a little bit. But maybe this will help. Maybe this is the direction that the series needed to go. So Medabots is a franchise, right? It counts as a monster raising franchise. Like, it doesn't obviously contain monsters, but I mean, there's mascots, and you collect them, you befriend them, and you battle them. I mean, it's part of that big monster raising boom with Pokemon, Digimon, Monster Rancher. And it kind of fell off the face of the earth in the States, but in Japan, it kind of kept going. It kept getting more and more releases in terms of video games, and that's not stopping, because now we get Medabots S Unlimited Nova! Anime as hell. And it looks to be a gacha game. It's a gacha mobile game, and it's kind of holding on to that same 3v3 turn-based battle ATB kind of thing. Heck, even the Medabots game we got in the States was like that. And I think it's awesome that this series has managed to hold on for this long. Like, again, its popularity's obviously faded, but the fact that it's still there, and it's such a cool series, and it should really get a lot more love than it gets. But speaking of series that get a lot of love, nice segue, is Pokemon, which right now isn't getting so much. There was the thing, we touched on it previously in the Pokemon Masters video. We decided to take out the national dex. And a lot of people aren't happy about that they're taking out a bunch of Pokemon in the game, that they're not putting in like what's probably gonna be over 900, which I mean is their own fault for making so many monsters that they feel like they don't have space. But there's also a lot of people who think, and maybe I'm in that camp, I'm probably in that camp, it's probably indicative of a lack of effort from Game Freak. But Game Freak has actually acknowledged this. They made some feedback. It wasn't good. It was really bad. It reads, "Thank you to all of our fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I've read all your comments and appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon and each and every one of them is very important to us. After so many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, that doesn't mean it will not appear in future games. The world of Pokemon continues to evolve. The Galar region offers new Pokemon to encounter, trainers to battle, and adventures to embark on. We are pouring our hearts into these games, and we hope you will look forward to joining us on this new journey." It's a bad take. So basically what they're saying there is, at least as a fan, this is what I hear. Hey, so we hear you're upset, but we won't do anything about it. We don't plan to make updates to, rectify the situation. But, have you considered buying our games in the future? Just keep giving us your money. And last, we have the newest monster racing franchise, Temtem. So Temtem, of course, was a Kickstarter franchise that pretty much marketed itself as not Pokemon. And it's pretty fun. I've played the alpha, I backed it, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's as not Pokemon as you'll get, right? But now that Pokemon is starting to alienate people, I feel like a lot of people are going to start looking for alternatives. So maybe this is Temtem's perfect time to exist, right? During all the Sword and Shield backlash. But right now, Temtem had recently added a few new updates for it. There is an update adding a whole new island to the alpha, so you can go explore that if you've been playing. You can go customize your characters some more. And unfortunately for me, because I really want to replay it, you can finally restart your character. Bless. And I'm probably going to do that really soon. Heck, you could see me do it sometime soon on stream. Right now, as of this moment of this recording, I'm playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But, sometime after that, we'll probably check it out for like a day and a half. See what we can do there. Have some fun. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for now. So, did I miss anything? Is there anything you want to tell me? You want to talk about any of these things I maybe talked about, like the Pokemon? I'm sure a lot of people have opinions on that. Tell me below. Join the Twitch channel. Subscribe there. Subscribe here. Do whatever. Follow me, like, share, subscribe.